Good evening, friends, and welcome to Rouse Raider Baseball. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Francis alongside Scott Mount as we are set to get underway here tonight. Raiders taking the first of two on Tuesday night in a combined shutout over the Cedar Park Timberwolves, 9-0. Fisher Kingsbury goes with the start and picks up the win. He goes 4 2/3, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, no runs. Connor Bennett comes down to finish it off. Goes 2 1/3 innings, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and 1 hit, no runs. Raiders looking to take game 2 of the series tonight versus the Timberwolves. They come into tonight's action leading District 17 5A. They're 2 games over, actually 3 games over, the Pflugerville Panthers, who they will be playing next Tuesday night. Raiders win one of that series, and they clinch a district championship, Scott.
That's right. Now we've got the starting lineup. The Cedar Park Timberwolves are coming out to the field, being announced. Just another great night for baseball, Central Texas.
It's baseball time in Texas.
It sure is.
The great Mark Holtz would say before every Ranger start.
Glad we can get this game in before potential rain, maybe tomorrow, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
No rain tonight, folks. If you're listening in, turn off the radio.
For another 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, come down here. We got great concessions. Looks like we're going to have a full crowd. This is a district rival. Most of these young men grew up playing with each other in the CPYL League, and now they're competitors. So come to the ballpark. What else are you going to do on a Friday night?
Absolutely. Baseball. Lineup for the Cedar Park Timberwolves. Leading off will be number 1, Jackson Rogers in center field. The designated hitter, number 17, Matt Freeman, will be hitting for number 24, Sam Householder, who will be the starting pitcher for the Timberwolves tonight. Number 15, Ryan Fiala, will be at first base. He'll be followed by number 22, Evan Sparks, at third base. Batting fifth will be number 20, Harson McGowan in right field. He's followed by number 14, Ryder Hernandez at short. Number 3, Carson Cater will be in left field, and number 25, Cade Hott, will be at second. Rounding out the order will be number 21, Gabe Alvarez, behind the plate. For the Rouse Raiders, leading off will be the right fielder, number 15, Dalton Porter. He will be followed by the starting pitcher tonight, number 23, Jared Southard. The shortstop, number 22, Connor Bennett, will be batting third. And number 24, Lance Little, will be at first base. Designated hitter, number 4, Tanner Robbins, will be hitting for the third baseman, number 3, Matt Garcia. Number 5, Fisher Kingsbury, will be behind the plate, and he will be followed by the second baseman, number 1, Dylan Lewis. Number 14, Alex Servetus, will be in left field, and number 6, batting ninth, will be the center fielder, Jake Alepa. The Raiders, coached by Chad Krimping. He has won 368 career games, and he's assisted by Josh Harris. You're listening to Rouse Raider Sports as we take a moment for the national anthem. Well, baseball time in Texas. Cedar Park Timberwolves coached by Chris Garlock. It's his 4th year as a head coach with 88 career wins. Assisted by Chris Staton and Matt Kuykendall. Raiders take their warm-ups as we're just about to get underway here in Leander. It's an overcast evening with the wind blowing in from straightaway center.
Yeah, ball's going to have a little tough time getting out here tonight. See that we have some representative from CPYL here today, or is it the Leander Little League? Leander Little League, or they've got some players here tonight. Leander Little League night.
Always special to have those kids come out and get to go out on the field with the big kids. And Jared Southard on the hill for the Raiders tonight. Raiders in their pinstripe uniforms.
Old school.
Looking old school. Black number and lettering, bordered in gray.
Tell you what, those bases are so bright. I'm going to have to put my shades back on. I don't know who puts them.
Well, I heard tell, and maybe it's just rumor, that the home plate used to be white.
It was.
Very white. In fact, before BP took place.
Yeah.
And now you can barely see it.
Have to come up with some kind of cover during practice. Or maybe we can get the district to
Scott,
do our home plate area in turf.
Right. Do you know a guy?
I know a guy.
You know a guy.
It's part of the fun of being part of the program is getting to come up here and doing some things. And same with, we have some great alumni that still do a lot of work. Here we go, folks.
Number 1, Jackson Rogers will lead off for the Timberwolves. He will dig in from the right side as we're getting underway here in Leander. Raider Field on the campus of Rouse High School. 12-22 Raider Way. Southern deals high for ball 1. The 1-0 is a chopper. Hit over to third. Garcia has it. Throws over to first in time, and Rogers is retired.
That'll bring up the DH. Number 17.
That'll go 5-3 on the putout. That'll bring up the designated hitter, number 17, Matt Freeman. Freeman hitting for Sam Householder, the pitcher for the Timberwolves tonight. Timberwolves in their gray road uniforms. So he takes high and inside for ball 1. Southern winds and fires a fastball down the middle, fouled off by Freeman for strike 1, I'm sorry. That'll even the count up at 1. Wishful thinking, Scott. And I was going strike 2. Curveball in for strike 2.
That's that wicked curve Jared has.
1-2 the count to Freeman. Kingsbury gives a sign, a swing and a miss. Change up. Gets Freeman to chase. And that's 2 away, and that'll bring up the lefty, number 15, Ryan Fiala. Fiala, the designated hitter on Tuesday night for the Timberwolves, came in toward the end of the game at first base. He is the first baseman for the Timberwolves tonight. He pops this one up. This is playable. Cervatus over, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Timberwolves in the first. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 1/2, we're scoreless here in Leander. Scott, are you feeling hungry, my friend?
I'm feeling just a little hungry, buddy. And you know what? We always have such great sponsors like Bohemian's Barbecue. They're in their traveling food truck. Go by Jonestown. I think they've got a truck there. They've got a really good barbecue. It's what stocks our concession stand. They've been really helpful with us. But I want to take a moment to bring up another sponsor that we don't always talk a lot about. You don't hear the backstories, but tomorrow is the annual father-daughter dance. It's a big thing for the Booster Club and the baseball program. And normally we have another food vendor that was going to supply a lot of food for the little girls and their dads, and unfortunately today at the last minute they backed out. So what we were able to do is contact the local Bush's Chicken here in Cedar Park, and without even pausing, they said they would cover whatever's needed, free of charge.
Oh, my goodness.
And those are the kinds of stories that you don't hear, folks, that Bush's is a sponsor, and they get some airtime, but I want to make sure everyone's aware of what they do behind the scenes. And so the next time that you're out and you're thinking about that, go to that Bush's there on 1431. Tell them thanks for supporting the program. They support all of the Leander High Schools, Vista Ridge, Leander High School, and that's what makes our district so strong is we have a lot of good community support. Really wanted to reach out to them.
Well, big shout out and thanks to Bush's Chicken for your support of Rouse Raider baseball and the father-daughter dance, which those projects are what help to fund our broadcasts.
Bring you SHN. And I'll work for Chicken. Dalton Paul Porter up to the plate. Wonder if his aunt is listening. Just happen to have Aunt Kindlin's name right here.
Householder picks up the sign from Alvarez. The pitch. Porter fouls this one off and goes over the top of the press box. Defensively for the Timberwolves, Householder on the mound, Alvarez behind the plate, Fiala at first, Haught at second, Hernandez at short, Sparks at third, Cater in left, Rogers in right, and McGowan Rogers in center, and McGowan in right. The pitch from Householder. I think this one's fouled off for strike two.
A little off speed, looked like.
Has a little sidearm action. His mechanics are a bit unique. Householder from the stretch. He comes set. The delivery looked pretty good to me, but doesn't get the call. It's 1-2 to Dalton Porter. The 1-2 pitch. It's fouled off down the left field side and out of play.
What do you think about the way the umpire is setting up tonight? The past few games we've seen them set up on the extreme left.
Well, we've seen this guy before.
So he's more where an umpire should be, it looks like, tonight. We'll be looking for that all-important catcher interference that they seem to be calling a lot this year.
The 1-2 pitch again, high and outside for ball two. That'll even the count, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Gets the outside part of the plate, and Porter retires. He's caught looking.
That brings up number 23 for the Raiders, Jared Southard.
Number 23, Jared Southard, will dig in from the right side. Southard, big, powerful senior for the Raiders. Plays right field and a pitcher. Pitch from Householder in for the strike. Nobody on with one out here in the bottom of the first. Pitch misses low for ball one. That'll even the count up. Pitch from Householder. This is chopped on and hit deep in the hole. Hernandez has it. Throws over to first. In time. And Southard is retired for out number two.
That'll bring up number 22, Connor Bennett.
Number 22, Connor Bennett will dig in. Bennett, the shortstop, and does some pitching. He takes for strike one. Breaking ball. It comes right over the top of the plate.
See if Mr. Bennett can get his magic back like he had the other night.
The 0-1 pitch.
That was a bit outside.
A slider that goes down and away for ball one. That'll even the count up. This was cut on and hit out to shallow right. McGowan in and makes the catch, and the Raiders go in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on after one complete. We're scoreless here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
You know, Michael, I was talking about the strength of our program and our great community sponsors. Wanted to take a moment for everyone out there. LISD as a whole, we have a strong athletic tradition and good competition between all the high schools. But LISD community lost a young man earlier this week, a former offensive lineman, played for Leander High School, graduated, I believe, 2 years ago. Cameron Feacock lost a battle with some medical conditions, and sure going to miss that young man. Made an impact at Leander High School. Worked with his dad. Want to send our prayers and wishes to the family, but that's a traumatic loss for the LISD community as a whole.
It's sad. I can't imagine being father and losing your son or losing a child, period.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, softball, synchronized swimming. We're all athletics, all LISD
Number
proud.
22, Evan Sparks.
Evan Sparks leads off for the Timberwolves here in the second. Southard back on to pitch the second. Pitch, this is popped up and playable. Connor Bennett calls it, makes the catch. Just into the outfield grass.
And that'll bring up number 20 for the Timberwolves, Hudson McGowan.
Right fielder Hudson McGowan comes to the plate. Fastball. He tattoos this one foul for strike one. The 0-1 pitch from Southern, curveball. Gets the late call. He gets the strike. That's inside over the stripe. The 0-2 delivery, swing and a miss from McGowan for out number 2.
That brings up number 14 for the Timberwolves, Ryder Hernandez.
The shortstop, Ryder Hernandez, comes to the plate. The wind and the pitch. A little changeup in over the plate for strike one. He's like, give me your fastball. I want your fastball.
I'm sure they're all.
The 0-1, he got a fastball and it missed the outside part of the plate. That'll even the count at 1-1.
I bet some of these Cedar Park players have. It's not very often you get to go up against not only a University of Texas commit, but certainly a legitimate MLB prospect.
1-2. The count to Hernandez. A swing and a miss for strikeout number 3. Timberwolves go in order. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on after 1.5. We're scoreless here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Folks, the lights are coming on.
They're
You need to come on out to the ballpark. We're going to be playing under the lights tonight.
So, they talk, just like what we were just mentioning, Scott, when you get a pitcher who can throw that heat. I remember several years ago, back in District 25 4A, when Rouse was playing against Dripping Springs.
Oh, boy.
And a young man by the name of Parker French
Parker French
was playing for Dripping Springs, and he could hit 100. And he came in here, and, of course, all the scouts, that's most people that Rouse had in the stand. And scouts, too, you know. And when Parker got out there to pitch, because he was starting, and that kid could throw some heat. And now he's playing in the pros. Yep.
I think we have a few scouts here tonight, so.
Yeah, I believe Don said there's one for the Phillies here.
That's outstanding.
Lance Little.
Here we go.
Number 24, Lance Little, will stand in from the right side. Little usually number 26, but in the pinstripe uniform, some numbers are missing. Pitch from Householder misses outside for ball one. Might be believed in to be some former alumni's closet, maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
Those things.
Pitch misses low for ball two.
Young baseball players, young men are sometimes forgetful. We'll leave it at that.
Right. Householder comes set. The 2-0 delivery. And it's down the middle for a strike. 2-1 the count to Little. Fastball. This is cut on and hit foul. It just bounced in front of the third base and out of play. So had it bounced over the bag and then out, it would have been a fair ball. But since it bounced before the bag and out, they ruled it foul. 2-2 the count to Lance Little. Householder picks up the sign from Alvarez. The pitch, slider outside for ball three. Little has worked the count full. Neither team has yet gotten a base runner aboard. Payoff pitch in for strike three call as Little takes.
Just froze Mr. Little there at the plate.
That'll bring up the DH, number 4, Tanner Robbins.
One away, and Tanner Robbins will come to the plate. So far, neither pitcher really throwing a whole lot of pitches. Tanner Robbins takes for strike one. A little soft changeup from Householder. I don't know where that one missed, but he didn't get the call. 1-1. Pitch in for a called strike. 1-2. The count to Robbins. This is cut on and hit over toward third. Sparks has it, throws over to first. And Robbins is retired. 5-3 on the putout.
And that'll bring up number 5 for the Raiders, Fisher Kingsbury.
Number 5, Fisher Kingsbury, comes to the plate. Fouls this one off for strike one. Some former players who used to wear that number. Kyle Jacobs wore that number for his entire career.
Yeah.
The 0-1, this is chopped on and hit over to short. Ryder Hernandez has it. Throws over in time, and that'll do it. 6-3 on the putout. Raiders go in order.
The score remains 0-0.
No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After two complete, it's scoreless here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Due up for the Raiders, or in the Timberwolves in the third. Carson Cater, Cade Haught, and Gabe Alvarez. Jared Sutter back on the hill for the third. As we're set to get underway. Kind of looking at who's going to blink first.
Yeah, I think so.
Carson Cater.
Carson Cater will dig in from the right side. Cater, the left fielder for the Timberwolves. Sutter winds, he fires, gets the outside part of the plate for strike one. Foul tip back to the fence for strike two, and Cater quickly in the hole, 0-2. Foul tip, and Cater stays alive. Oh and 2 the count. The 0-2 misses high and outside for ball one. One-two pitch. That's fouled off, and
you know, our stands are filling up with our fans, both sides. We still got some room. Come on out, folks. This is one of those good district games.
1-2. This one's hit over to Lewis at second, throws to first in time, and Cater is retired. 4-3 on the putout.
Now to bring up number 25 for the Timberwolves, Cade Haught.
For some of you fans that may not know, whenever you hear me say 4-3 or 5-3 or call out these numbers, Cade Haught stands in. He takes for ball one.
It's one of those invisible ball strikes.
1-0 bounces in the dirt to the backstop for ball two.
Let's not mess up that home plate now. That's
Right. It used to be white.
used to be wide.
Sutter winds and fires. Gets the outside part of the plate for strike one. But in baseball, going back to what I was saying, the positions are by number. Swing and a miss for strike two, and the count evens. The pitcher's position, number one, and the catcher, number two. Foul tip, and Haught stays alive. First base is number 3, second base is number 4, third base is number 5, shortstop is number 6, left field number 7, center field number 8, and right field number 9. Swing and a miss, and that'll retire Cade Haught for out number 2, and that'll bring up the number 9 batter, number 21, Gabe Alvarez, the catcher for the Timberwolves tonight. He fouls this one off for strike one. The 0-1 pitch from Southern. Curveball in for strike two.
And we've got an old-fashioned pitcher's duel tonight, Michael.
Pitch misses high for ball one. 1-2 the count to Alvarez. 1-2 pitch. In for strike three call. He tried to check his swing, but it was a strike nonetheless. He gets caught looking. 1, 2, 3 go the Timberwolves in the third. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 2.5, we're still scoreless here in Leander. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
Well, maybe we can get something going at the bottom of the inning. The wind is calmed a little bit. But, you know, when the winds pick up like that and you're ready for some remodeling, you know who you need to call, Michael?
Who's that?
You need to call Austin Pro Siding and Windows, another proud sponsor of the baseball program. Austin Pro Siding and Windows, they've been helping Austin homeowners with siding and window projects for over 6 years. They are the experts. Give them a call and they'll keep that nasty wind out of your house.
That'll be a good thing.
Yeah.
That helps with heating and cooling costs. And you can seal up the building envelope of your home and make sure that you have the right amount of insulation. Change your incandescence and fluorescence to LED. I can say that because that's what my work group does. Is
there you go, LED.
Is energy efficiency rebates for commercial projects.
I think you'll see in the future house services going back to 100, 150 amps instead of the mega 200. And your highest devices will be washing machines or a dishwasher. Lighting loads are going the other way.
Well, the good thing about what we do is we try to shed the load of the city, and we are working on our second virtual power plant. We've already saved enough energy that would take a power plant to run year-round. Due up for the Raiders in the third, Lewis, Cervetus, and Alepa, or Alipa.
Dylan Lewis, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, the second baseman, will stand in from the right side. Householder back on the hill. Alvarez gives the sign. The pitch gets the outside corner for strike one.
I understand Mr. Lewis's dad, Bailey, he's been traveling the past month, been overseas quite a bit.
Has he?
Scotland, a few other places.
0-1. This is chopped. This is through the legs, and they have a hit and a base runner. Well, I don't know if that give it a hit, but he didn't even get a glove on it. It goes underneath his glove, but should have been a routine play.
And that's what happens in a pitcher's duel is you get hypnotized in this monotony, and all of a sudden a mistake is made. Every fielding mistake can be costly.
E4 on hot. Cervetus lays down the bunt, and Lewis with an awkward kind of turn into second. Looked like kind of a pirouette. Cervetus gets the sack bunt for out number one, and that will bring up Jake Alepa. May see another bunt. Householder checks Lewis is second. Comes home. A swing and a miss for Alepa. The 0-1. This is hit back up the middle. This is a legitimate hit. So Alepa gets the first hit of the game. Runners on the corners for the Raiders.
Dalton Paul Porter.
Porter coming to the plate for the second time tonight.
And folks, some of you may wonder why Coach didn't send Dylan all the way from second. It just would not have been worth the risk right now this early in the game.
Porter caught looking back in the first. He's 0 for 1. Alepa extends his lead over to first. Householder throws over just to keep him honest. Gosh, I love baseball. It's a great sport.
It is a great sport.
I'm thankful that my grandmother instilled that in me years ago. Porter yet to get a pitch. Householder comes set. He delivers high and outside for ball one. Two on with one out here in the bottom of the third. In a scoreless ball game, Raiders looking to get on the board. Porter takes for ball two. Now you see how a pitcher can change once the runner gets on base. Now Householder seems more concerned with the base runners than he does the batter.
Yeah, and sooner or later you need to be careful of your throws over there because he's got a man 90 feet away.
A throw home. This is popped up. This is going back out of play. Alvarez takes off his mask. Looking for it, and it had gone back over the press box. Two and one to count to Porter. Throw over to first. Not in time as Alepa dives back in. The 2-1, Alepa takes off. And he's in the pickle and gets tagged out.
Not sure what happened there. It might have been a missed sign or something.
It's amazing how your fortunes can change just all of a sudden. This is hit over to second. If Porter can get there, but it's not. It's in time. And now that out is costly. That would have scored a run. And Alepa got caught. 4-3 on the putout of Porter to end the inning. No runs, one hit, one left on. After three, we're still scoreless here in Leander. Raiders just blew a good opportunity to get on the board.
Just like that, we're at the top of the fourth. So, you know, when things are like that, when you said he's in the pickle, you ever feel your career's in the pickle there?
Sometimes.
Well, you need to call our friend and alumni, Dale Vanoy with Farmers Insurance. Dale can help you with your career if you're feeling in that proverbial pickle. Reach out to Dale Vanoy with Farmers Insurance and learn how to hit a home run with your new career. Baseball program thanks Dale Vanoy and Farmers Insurance for his continued sponsorship. You know, when we came into the program, Michael, Cody was a sophomore when Robert was a freshman, and Dale donated 2 pitching machines. And that was a time of transition for the program. Equipment was not in the best of shape, and Dale stepped up and helped the program out.
They are definitely good folks. Due up for the Timberwolves in the fourth, Jackson Rogers, Matt Freeman, and Ryan Fiala.
Leading off the top of the fourth is number 1, Jackson Rogers.
Rogers stands in. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to third. So he takes for ball 1. Little slider misses low. 1-0 pitch, a fastball. This is chopped on. Garcia over. The throw to first in time. That'll go 5-3.
Number 17.
They were playing the shift on
Yeah.
Rogers, and Garcia playing up on the infield grass and almost over into the shortstop's position. That'll bring up Matt Freeman. Freeman, a strikeout victim. He's 0 for 1. He takes for strike one, a fastball down the middle. The 0-1 pitch, it bounces in the dirt and to the backstop. That's a wild pitch for Jared Southard. Well, folks, in just a few short weeks, we will be playing playoff baseball.
Already.
Foul tip back to the fence for strike 2. 1-2, the count to Freeman. Raiders can clinch a district championship next week. 1-2, this is hit foul down the third base side. Pflugerville, who will be our district opponent next week, our final district opponent. The 1-2 pitch for Southern. This is lined over to short. Bennett makes the grab. L6 on the putout.
That'll bring up number 15 for the Timberwolves.
And Pflugerville off this week. Well, not off. They're playing non-district schedule.
Non-district, yep.
Played Hutto earlier in the week and will play Harker Heights tomorrow.
Harker Heights has a good ball club.
Fastball high and outside for ball 1. The 1-0. This is popped up and hit foul.
There's nothing better at the ballpark, seeing a bunch of kids running around the stands and
having a good time.
having a good time.
1-1 pitch. Sails high for ball 2. Pflugerville has to play Rouse and Marble Falls. A swing and a miss on an inside pitch for strike 2. That'll even the count up. The 2-2 pitch misses low for ball 3, and the count works full. Ryan Fiala at the plate for the Timberwolves. The payoff pitch, curveball. This is hit down the first base side. Little tosses over to Sutter and gets him.
Standing play. That's good coordination there, folks. That's how it's done.
Fiala's got some speed. Got those long legs. That'll go 3-1 on the putout. And the Timberwolves go in order in the 4th. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on.
Folks, let's check around the league now to the college scores. University of Texas, top of the 5th. Kansas State leading them 2-1. You're fighting Texas Aggies in the bottom of the 4th. Playing against Auburn, 0-0. Aggies have an error already, Michael.
Uh-oh.
What is up with that? You know, somebody asked me the other day what happened to my Aggies. They're just playing possum.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. They're playing little possum right now.
Playing possum in the SEC.
Yeah.
Still looking for that first SEC championship.
Yeah. It'll happen.
Whether it be football, baseball, or what have you.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. Synchronized swimming.
So they're showing that boys from Texas are to be taken serious.
Well, Texas.
What I understand, one of y'all's alumni decided to grow up a little bit and change their name. Or not change their name, but decided they would just go with John instead of Johnny. So.
Yeah, well, not sure who you're talking about there. And
Jared Southern leading off the fourth for the Raiders. As he fouls one off for strike one.
Michael got me all choked up there. That's good.
Yeah. Brought y'all a Heisman over there. First one y'all have had since what, John David Crow?
John David Crow. Good memory there. Yep.
Householder comes set. He delivers. And Southern pops this one up. Shallow left center. Rogers over and makes the catch. And that'll do it.
That'll bring up number 22 for the Raiders.
Jared Southern.
Bennett.
Number 22, Connor Bennett, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. Pitch from Householder. Checked his swing and was able to hold it up, so he takes for ball one. Pitch from Householder. This is hit out to right center. This will fall in. And the Raiders have their second hit of the game.
And Mr. Bennett keeps his hitting streak alive. I think he's hit just about every game we've had.
Little.
Mr. Little back up to the plate.
I saw something on Facebook today that Coach Crampine had shared, the top prospect list in Central Texas.
I saw that as well.
And the Raiders have 3 on that prospect list. Jared Southern, Connor Bennett, and Fisher Kingsbury. So congratulations to those young men.
Folks, we have the bio on Mr. Little, courtesy of his father. He'll be a senior next year. What's his favorite hobbies? Well, he likes playing baseball, and imagine this, hanging out with friends.
Throw over. Not in time. Householder definitely shows a pattern here of getting preoccupied with base runners. The pitch misses low for ball one.
Lance wants to give a shout out to Peyton, who's away at college. Junior at Cameron University, majoring in biology, and also plays volleyball.
A throw over again. Oh,
What a nice brother.
what an outstanding brother.
Probably takes after his mother. His,
Has some
dad nods in agreement.
Has some action going on in the bullpen.
With the Timberwolves, we certainly do.
Want to know the count to Little. He hits this one down the third baseline, throws over to second for 1. I guess he pulled the second baseman off. He's
That'll bring up number 4 for the Raiders.
safe, and
Tanner Robbins.
that will go as an E5.
Yeah, that's an error on the.
As Little hits into a fielder's choice. Two aboard, runners at first and second for Tanner Robbins. Pitch from Householder. It's misses down and away for ball one. Raiders trying to turn their fortunes here. Householder will spin off and look Bennett back to second. Want to know the count to Robbins. He spins off and looks Bennett back again. Robbins grounded out the third his previous at bat. The 1-0 gets the outside corner. And that'll even the count up at 1. 2 on and 1 out in a scoreless ball game between the Timberwolves and the Raiders. Robbins pops this one out. It drops in as a Texas leaguer, and that will get Bennett home. And I'm not sure how to score that, if that scores an error. Well, no, it's a hit.
But the right fielder just held on to it.
Okay, there's no error there.
No error. He just failed to throw the ball back into play.
Raiders get on the board first, and they take the lead 1-0. Runners still at first and second. As Fisher Kingsbury comes up, and he hits this one out to left. Not deep enough for anyone to tag up. That'll be a fly out. 2 away.
That'll bring up number 1 for the Raiders.
And that'll bring up Dylan Lewis. Lewis reached on an E4 as a ball that went underneath Haught's glove on a routine ground ball. Let's turn around and look Little back to second base. Pitch misses low for ball 1. Householder comes set. The pitch misses outside for ball 2. Two on with 2 outs. 1 run has scored. Raiders with the lead. Householder stepped off, pulled his glove. Looked like a balk to me. He was still engaged. This is lined back up the middle, bounced into the hands of Haught. He tosses over to Hernandez for the out. That'll go 4-6 on the put out. As Lewis hit into a fielder's choice.
And in the fourth, Raiders 1, Timberwolves 0.
And here we go to the top of the 5th, folks.
On to the 5th we go. We get 1 run on 1 hit. Actually 2 hits. And 1 left on. After 4 complete, it's Raiders 1.
All this baseball.
Cedar Park nothing.
You mentioned food earlier. You know, we talked about Bohemians.
Oh, man. I'm feeling a little
Bushes,
Italian.
Little Italian stallion. Yeah.
Buongiorno, principessa.
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know
And that guy would be Bob Reale, the proud owner of Reale's Italian Food, Anderson Mill Road, 183. Go by and see Bob and Gino, who runs the operation now. And while you're in there, ask for a Sal's calzone.
Oh, yeah, there you go with the
Tell you what,
calzone, buddy.
We had the varsity dinner a while back, and they supplied their specialty sausage and peppers and pasta.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a lot of carbs. But Reale's Italian Food, folks, you're home away from Rome.
Number 22, Evan Sparks digs in as he faces Jared Southern for the second time. He takes for strike 1. Sparks popped up to the shortstop earlier. It's fouled off for strike 2 and quickly in the hole, 0-2. Southern picks up the sign. He winds and deals curveball in for strike 3, with Sparks taking the whole way.
That'll bring up number 20 for the Timberwolves.
1 away for
McGowan.
Hudson McGowan as he comes to the plate. McGowan struck out earlier. He's 0 for 1. McGowan takes for ball 1. Pitch for Southern, in for a strike. That leaving the count up at 1-1. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It spun McGowan completely out of the box and across the plate. One and two, the count to McGowan. Pitch from Southern sails high for ball two. A 2-2 pitch, a fastball. It's fouled back to the net. A 2-2 pitch. This is cut on. This is hit over to third. Garcia has it. The throw to first in time. Garcia getting a lot of action over on that hard corner. That's the third put out that he has of the game. Solid defense.
Solid defense tonight.
That's two away. That'll go 5-3 on the put out, and that will bring up the shortstop, Ryder Hernandez. Hernandez struck out earlier. This one's popped up and back out of play. That'll even the count. Or maybe that was his first pitch. I think Southern wanted a change of baseballs. So I missed that.
I believe you're
one.
right, yeah.
So a foul tip for strike two, and Hernandez down in the count, and I think Fisher Kingsbury might have taken it maybe in a tough place.
Fisher's been really good behind the plate all year long. Here come the trainers. Take a little moment to tend to Mr. Fisher.
Mrs. Fink walks out. She's going to take a look at it.
Well, the bio on Fisher Kingsbury, his favorite hobby is baseball, traveling to new places, helping Dad out at the ranch.
Man, that's good. I love country.
Yeah.
I grew up in a small town called Godley, Texas.
Godley, Texas.
Up in north central Texas, about 30 miles southwest of Fort Worth.
Lots of weather in that area.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm a Godley graduate of class of 86.
How big was it when you were there?
I had a graduation class the size of 27.
27.
Population was 684 at that time.
Couldn't get in too much trouble, huh?
Oh, well, you could.
Well, you would be.
But
known.
you didn't really get in a whole lot of hot water. Give you the kind of idea of the way it was. Graduation night, we had a friend of ours that was graduating, and he was celebrating down at the local convenience store in the old parking lot, and he had bought a case of beer.
That looks like Fisher's going to step out.
Now, Kingsbury can come back in. He is a starter, so he can come back in. So anyway, he had managed to get his hands on a case of beer and was just sitting on the tailgate of his truck, celebrating the fact that he had just graduated high school. And lo and behold, the Johnson County Sheriff pulls up into the parking lot, and he only made him pour all his beer out and told him he needed to go home. And Larry, being the fine young man that he was, he did. And
different times.
Yeah, just different times, Could have gotten him for being underage. if I remember correctly, that was when the drinking age changed from 19 to 21.
And a lot of people don't remember that. It was 18, then it turned to 19. That lasted for 2 years, and then failed experiment, and then they said, might as well just go back to 21.
Yep.
I was showing my youngest, 16-year-old Michael. We were talking about he's really into older country music as he talks, and he's a huge George Strait fan. And we're talking about how things used to be, and I went and pulled out a ticket stub from a place that no longer exists out in Oak Hill called the Double Eagle.
Double Eagle.
It was a dance hall, and saw George Strait in 1983, $6.
So he had to get things taken care of, and I think we're just about ready to go.
Not sure what we're doing, but umpires have a lot of Well, folks, this is one of those times where when you're on the varsity or even when you're on a JV team where you have to make sure you're always ready to go in at a moment's notice. I'm sure Andrew Garcia did not expect to come in on the fifth inning to be the catcher, and this is what happens.
He's got Ryder Hernandez in a 1-2 count.
For the Timberwolves, Ryder Hernandez.
1-2 the count to Ryder Hernandez. As we're ready to get back underway. Cedar starts his wind. Fastball outside for ball 2. Deuce is wild to Hernandez. This is cut on and hit out foul down the right field side. And Hernandez gets another shot. But anyway, I was talking about Godley because I grew up working on a dairy farm. Hernandez fouls this one off. Milk cows for Larry and Bud Roden. Roden Dairy there in Godley, Texas.
You have home delivery?
Well, he delivered his milk to Borden in Houston.
Nah.
Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away. And Cedar retires the side. 1, 2, 3. Go. The Timberwolves in the fifth. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. We'll be back in just a moment. Number 14, Alex Servetus will lead off the 5th for the Raiders. Servetus with a sack bunt. His first time up. He takes for ball 1. He's 0 for 0. The 1-0. It's in the dirt. Bounces to the backstop for ball 2.
Alex, another one of our senior players on the varsity squad. A squad that lost how many? 16 last year?
16. The 2-0 in for a strike as he showed bunt and laid off. He's rung up anyway. Householder deals. This was hit into right field. Servetus with a leadoff single.
That brings up number 6 for the Raiders, Jake Alepa.
Got more action going in the Cedar Park bullpen. Jake Alepa comes to the plate. Alepa 1 for 1 with a single. Who was caught stealing later in the inning. Back in the 3rd. Alepa bunts it down the first base line, and he moves Servetus to second on a sack bunt.
Number 15 for the Raiders, Dalton Paul Porter.
As he hits it down the first base line. It's 1 away, and that'll bring up Dalton Porter. He's 0 for 2. He was caught looking in the first and grounded to second in the 3rd. Householder spins off, and he looks Servetus back to second base. This is fouled off and out of play. Nothing in 1, the count to Dalton Porter. Householder again looks Servetus back. Pitch down and away for ball 1. That'll even the count up. 1 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Your Raiders leading 1-0 over the Timberwolves. Porter hits this one out into right center. This will score Servetus, and Porter is going to leg it out into a triple. Throw to third will not be in time. Triple for Dalton Porter. And the Raiders extend their lead 2-0.
And that was outstanding base running from Mr. Porter. Cousin Grant and Cousin Kalen, if you're listening, Cousin Dalton ran a really good pattern around second base.
RBI triple. I don't think you got to worry about that. Well, I don't know. Scott may be obligated to because he probably has his first aid certification.
I've got a first aid something, you know. Yeah. I'm not giving you mouth to mouth, though.
Mine's expired, so you're just out of luck.
Dalton's dad's in the press box with his folks. He's our scorekeeper, and as a good dad does, he's making sure that Dalton's safe because while he was running, Dalton's helmet came off, and you know, teenage young men, they are indestructible. Just ask them. But
Cedar Park
dads
calls
don't
time.
think that way.
Yeah, dads don't think that way. Cedar Park calls time. Coach Garlick comes out to talk to Householder. If not, now he's going to pull him.
Yeah, we have a pitching change, folks.
We have a pitching change.
This pitching change brought to you by the fine folks at Rudy's Barbecue and Mighty Fine. They supported the varsity team on our trip down to Corpus Christi. The Myra tournament provided meals and the necessities for a hungry varsity team traveling. Certainly appreciate Rudy's Barbecue and Mighty Fine Hamburgers.
Number 7, Brooks Raby, comes on in relief of Sam Householder. And I'll give you his final numbers here in just a moment.
And if you haven't made it down to the concession stand yet, what are you waiting for? Get down to the concession stand, get you something to eat. We got all kinds of stuff. Sodas, candy, chicken nibblers. You name it, we got it. So hurry up.
Now I just got word we got half price off all food. All and hot food. Hey, grab one.
Final numbers on Brooks Raby. Or not Brooks Raby, I'm sorry, Sam Householder. He goes 4 1/3, gets 2 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits, and 2 runs. And Brooks Raby on, and he faces Jared Southard for the first time. Southard fouls this one off for strike 1. One on with 1 out, Dalton Porter at third base. Raiders lead this one 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Curveball sails high and gets called for a strike. I think that's because Southern bent over and backed out of the box. Had he stayed in place, probably wouldn't have called it. The 0-2. A slider outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count to Southern. Raby from the stretch. Southern fouls this one off and stays alive. The count will remain 1-2. Connor Bennett on deck for the Raiders. Southern flew out to right. Flew out to center his previous at bat. He fouls this one off. The 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Sutter chases a little high cheese for strike 3.
That was some cheese.
Out number 2. Bennett pops this one up and out of play for strike 1.
That's number 22 for the Raiders, Connor Bennett.
Nothing in 1 the count to Connor Bennett. 1 on with 2 outs. Dalton Porter standing at third base. Pitch from Raby high and inside, a breaking ball, and that didn't back Bennett off at all.
No.
Count evens up at 1. The 0-1, slider down and away for ball 2. Looked like a pretty good pitch from here. Raby comes set. curveball he lays off of for ball 3. Bennett has an outstanding eye at the plate. The 3-1 pitch fouled off and works the count full. Pitch from Raby. Curveball, strike 3 call. And that will do it. Raiders get 1 run on 2 hits. 1 left on. After 5 complete, it's Rouse 2, Timberwolves.
Oh.
Timberwolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. We'll be back in just a moment. Carson Cater will lead off the 6th for the Timberwolves. He fouls this one off for strike 1.
You know, with Fisher being out like that, he probably needs to go see the team chiropractor, don't you think?
He might, but I don't know if the chiropractor can adjust that.
Well, yeah, there's some things that I don't know.
The 0-1, a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Let Lacombe Chiropractic and Leander, they're the team chiropractor. I understand he's pretty magical.
The 0-2 pitch from Southern, to fastball, and Cater can't catch up for out number 1. Strikeout.
That brings up number 25 for the Timberwolves, Cade Hott.
Number 25, Cade Hott, will come to the plate. Hott, the second baseman for the Timberwolves. Southern leans in, picks up the sign. Hott shows bunt. Back to Southern. Throw to first. 1-3 on the out.
Next up for the Timberwolves, number 21, Gabe Alvarez.
Number 21, Gabe Alvarez, comes to the plate. Southern winds. Alvarez shows bunt. He takes for strike 1.
Interesting calls here by the Cedar Park coach. Andrew going and making sure he's got the signs correct.
Nothing in 1, the count to Alvarez. Curveball fouled off for strike 2. Alvarez, the number 9 batter. The 0-2 pitch from Southern. High and inside for ball 1.
Man, that's a brush back there, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Quick crowd in the plate.
So I don't think you want to get hit by that.
No.
1-2, fouled off. Count remain 1-2. One-two pitch, swing. He didn't swing. It's high for ball 2.
Ball 2.
He's getting ready to call it. Come on, Francis. You got one job, buddy. Deuces wild to Alvarez. Swing and a miss. A pitch in the dirt. Garcia throws over. In time to complete the strikeout.
And I don't think enough can be said about that play Andrew Garcia just made. That,
and the significance of
that
what
was
it
a
means to Jared
significant
Southern at
play
this point in the game.
That catcher Andrew Garcia comes in, 5th inning, not expecting to play, and just threw a rocket to first base, accurate, and got the
From his knees.
and got the runner out.
And on one knee at that.
Cannot get any better than that.
He threw it on the rope.
Andrew, another one of our seniors on the varsity squad. We'll be losing him next year along with his brother Matt.
Once again, the Timberwolves go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. After 5.5, Raiders lead it 2-0.
Folks,
You're
we want to
listening-
mention. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
I'll mention another sponsor. Like to get them in at Williams County Deputies Association. This is their 3rd year to sponsor the club. They're our silver sponsor level. Really appreciate their help. Come through and help out the program, and their donation helps us provide equipment and some other necessities for the squad. The Williamson County Deputies Association.
Thank you for your sponsorship. Due up for the Raiders in the 6th, Little, Robbins, and King, or that would be Garcia.
Leading off the bottom half of the 6th, number
24, Lance Little.
Lance's dad, David, in the press box as well, running the scoreboard.
He does an outstanding job of it.
He does all right.
Well,
He's
fair to middling.
yeah, fair to middling.
Brooks Raby on to pitch the 6th for the Timberwolves, and Little takes for for strike 1.
I think he should really do it one more year to make sure he gets it down. Don't you? I think
yeah.
go ahead and volunteer him for next year.
Think so. 1-1 the count from Brooks Raby. The delivery high. Wow.
Okay.
That was high and outside, but it gets the strike call. 1-2 the count to Little. 1-2 pitch, a swing and a pitch down and away for strike 3.
That will bring up number 4 for the Raiders.
Interesting
Robbins.
how a bad pitch that gets called for a strike can change the dynamic of an at bat and the mindset of a batter when he's at the plate. Tanner Robbins will come to the plate. Tanner's 0 for 2. Pitch misses down and away. 1-0. The count to Robbins. Pitch from Raby. Curveball and in for a strike. Raby pretty solid. He's struck out every batter he's faced so far. Cut on and fouled off. count goes to 1-2. Raby comes set. The pitch. This is got on and hit out to center field, and the second baseman just on the outfield grass makes the catch, and that'll do it for Robbins.
Number 2 for the Raiders, Andrew Garcia.
Catcher coming up to bat now, Andrew Garcia. The bio on him is he's going to Abilene Christian next year. Favorite hobbies are fishing.
Yeah, we get to hang out with Billy Ray McCrary. He takes for strike one. Nothing in one, the count to Garcia. Raby has the sign. He fires outside for ball one and leaving the count up. One pitch. High for ball two, which it's not been uncommon for him to call that pitch a strike. Somehow he likes that height, that far up in the zone. Garcia hits this one out to right. McGowan over, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Raiders. They go down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. After 6 complete, it's Raiders 2, Timberwolves nothing. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports.
That 6th inning was brought to you by the Williams County Deputies Association, a proud supporter.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you, Williams County Deputies.
Cedar back on the hill to pitch the 7th for the Raiders. He will face the top of the order. And Jackson Rogers, Matt Freeman, and Ryan Fiala.
Here we go, folks.
Rogers 0 for 2 on the night. He's grounded out the third both times. Southern deals strike right down the middle as Rogers takes all the way. Southern winds, he fires. Swing and a miss for strike two. Rogers in a hole here early in this at bat. Southern shakes off the sign. He don't like it. Gets one he likes. Fastball high and inside for ball one. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike three. Out number one. 2 left for the Timberwolves.
Number 17, Matt Freeman.
Fastball, this is hit out and over the head of Dylan Lewis for a base hit.
That brings up number 15 for the Timberwolves, Ryan Fiala.
Just hung it up there a little high, Mike, and he was able to get a hold of it just over the outreached hand of Dylan Lewis.
Freeman breaks up the no-hitter and perfect game for Jared Sutter. Ryan Fiala comes to the plate. Cedar Park is going to be as aggressive as they can be on the bases. Trailing by 2 here in the 7th. A 1-0 count. Swing and a miss, and that's to the backstop. It gets through the legs of Garcia.
Now's the time to settle down. Get your batters out. Let's play some good defense here.
Beginning to sprinkle. Well, actually, it's beginning to rain. The 1-1. This is hit over to third.
Yeah, come on,
Garcia loses the handle on it.
Time to settle down.
That'll be an E5.
That will bring up number 22 for the Timberwolves.
And the Timberwolves bring up the go-ahead run to the plate.
Coach adjusting the outfield.
Evan Sparks comes to the plate. Runners at first and second, the first base runners of the game for the Timberwolves. He takes for strike 1. He hits this one out to center. Alepa back. He tracks it, makes the catch. And Freeman holds up at second.
Probably a good choice by Mr. Freeman, considering what happened last Tuesday night. And the Timberwolves challenged the right fielder, then Jared Sutter, who fired a rocket to third base and got him out.
That'll bring up Hudson McGowan. McGowan is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Curveball in for a strike. Timberwolves down to their final out. Coach Garlick wants to talk it over with McGowan.
Trying to add a little pressure here to Jared.
Matt Freeman broke up the no-hit shutout and perfect game all in one fell swoop.
And folks, if you'd wondered why the stands have gotten quiet, that's the reason why the last 2 innings. It was extremely tense at the stadium.
Oh, 1 count to McGowan. Runners at first and second. Pitch from Southern sails high for ball 1. That'll even the count up. Going to bring a pinch runner in for Ryan Fiala.
That'll bring in a pinch runner.
Number
Ryan
2,
Fiala.
Cole
That's number
Holland.
2, Cole Holland.
Cole Holland, not courtesy running, but pinch running for Ryan Fiala. 1-1 count to Hudson McGowan. Fastball from Southern, cut on and missed for strike 2. Raiders looking to stay perfect on this pitch. Southern spins off and looks Freeman back to second. The 1-2 pitch, that's cut on. Hit over to Garcia. Throw to first. Goes wide of the bag and into the dugout. And there's going to award an extra base, a throw from Garcia. Ties the ball game. So the argument is that Fiala was going from first to second, so he should only get to go to third on the throw into the dugout. So that puts runners at second and third for the Timberwolves. On an error by Matt Garcia. 1 run has scored. Two runners have gotten aboard on errors. And that just goes to show you how deadly and costly errors can be.
Errors can be.
Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Oh, he fouled it. So there was no urgency from Garcia. I'm like, you got a runner at third.
It's, sometimes up here in the press box, we like to coach from up here. And we're good at it. Just ask us.
The 0-2 pitch. This is cut on. Hit to Bennett. Throw over in time, and that'll do it. The Raiders with the win and a big sigh of relief. Raiders win it 2-1 against the Timberwolves. Southern coming into the 7th inning with a perfect game that was broke up by Matt Freeman.
Broke up by Matt Freeman, but did we expect anything less from these two clubs?
No, absolutely not.
This was certainly just like a playoff game, regardless of the standings.
I'll give you a card. Hold on.
We have you the final numbers here shortly, folks.
Yeah, we'll be right back with you. You're listening to Rouse Raider Baseball on SHN Sports. Welcome back. Raiders walk away with a win tonight as they sweep the second of 2 games with the Timberwolves, 2-1. Jared Southard gets the win. He goes 7 innings, gives up no walks, 10 strikeouts, 1 hit, and 1 run. Cedar Park pitching. Sam Householder goes 4 1/3, gets 2 strikeouts, no walks, 5 hits, and 2 runs. Brooks Raby comes on in the 5th. He goes an inning and 2/3. He strikes out 3 and pops out 2. So he gives no hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. So those are the numbers on the Timberwolves on the loss. Sam Householder will pick up the loss for the Timberwolves on tonight's game. Raiders will face the Pflugerville Panthers next week. And give me just one moment, and I'll let you know exactly where the home game's at. Exciting game tonight, Scott.
Just everything we expected and probably a little bit more, with the potential of a no-hitter and a perfect game all in one. I think the crowd felt it.
I definitely know they did. And, of course, you heard the sigh whenever Freeman got the hit. Everybody, and including Cedar Park fans, also were disappointed.
That's true. It's once again, I've said it many times, we're competitors on the field, but the fans like to see good baseball, and we all represent LISD. LISD baseball.
Baseball.
Can't help but see that, like Cedar Park, Michael, we have a couple of stadium lights that are out. And
yeah, we could use some maintenance.
we could
that's
use
for
a little
sure.
maintenance. I know baseball is just not the sometimes doesn't seem to get the emphasis as other
the football
sports.
venues,
Yeah,
so
it's a shame because these young men deserve a safe playing field, especially at night.
well, we've got 3 more regular season games to bring you. Next week will be a home game Tuesday here in Rouse against Pflugerville. That'll be a 7 o'clock game start. Then Thursday, it'll be a Thursday game instead of a Friday game at Pflugerville. That will be a 7 o'clock game start. And then the next game that we'll broadcast will be the following week on Thursday, April 25th versus Georgetown. That will be here. We will not be broadcasting the away game at Georgetown.
Oh.
So we've faced Georgetown twice that week. And they are number 1 in the Texas 5A Diamond Pro poll.
But I believe SHN will probably cover.
SHN is not covering that.
They're
for
not
them.
covering that.
No, they're not, because
Interesting.
they're non-district games, so they're not covering for them this year. But we will be broadcasting, and Rob informed me, said we'll be watching and listening to your broadcast.
There we go.
So we're looking forward to that. Georgetown, a great team in their own right, and look forward. A good competitor, and I like that rivalry. You know, we've developed that rivalry over the past few years versus Georgetown, and you know they're one of those schools too, Scott, that many of these kids have known each other and have played together over the years, and some kids came from Georgetown to play for Rouse, and vice versa. So we look forward to that meeting a week from now. But be back with us on Tuesday when the Raiders take on the Panthers from Pflugerville. Raiders win this one 2-1. Jared Southern picks up the win. We look forward to bringing Raider baseball to you next Tuesday. So be safe and God bless, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody. This is Michael Francis and Scott Mount.
Good night, everyone.